Alright, welcome to this episode of Scrapyard Choppers. I'm Ronnie Danger, and that's my broken race car still in the trailer. So I know it's been a little while, I've been extremely busy. I finally get to work on this thing. So let's pull this guy right here, this axle out, and see what's broken. Hopefully it's the axle and not the center section. Because if it's center section, I'm probably not going racing this weekend. If it's axle, I'm probably going racing this weekend up in Farwell, Michigan. And yeah, that'll be Saturday. Hopefully I get the car fixed. Just got to fix this axle. Also got to change the steering box. It leaks. And pretty much when I lift off the gas, I got no power steering. I think the box is just shot. So, junkyard adventure ahoy. Hopefully I can get this axle fixed. Let's get it pulled apart. Alright, well it's definitely an axle issue because the seal's all blown out because this is all covered. I think it's actually already pulling itself out. I think this is supposed to be straight. Yeah, I think this should be flat. It's also like ripping right there. Well, we'll get it apart and see what's going on. But I'm pretty sure this axle is broken. So all I can do is turn it best I can till holes line up and then pull the nuts. I might have to do this with a wrench. Well, let's see what works. I end up using the wrench. Alright, more to do. Yep, that's broken.
That's factory. What are you talking about?
That's horsepower right there, son.
That's factory.
Yeah. Now I gotta get the little chunk out of there. Or all the chunks.
Magnet?
Yep. Somewhere down in there, some chunks I gotta get out. Hopefully I got a magnet. Let's find out. So right here I got my axle extractor 9000. Just some magnets and then a long pole. Taped and zip tied. Hopefully this works. And I get all these little chunks out. I'm not too worried about every little iota of a chunk. Because, well, this run's been through a lot. And a couple of tiny pieces of metal ain't gonna hurt it none. For as much as we run it. So, let's see how this goes. Real quick, put down in the comments, what do you think is going to happen? You think this is going to work? I have no idea. You think it's going to get stuck? Or you think these magnets are going to fall off and then I'm pulling the whole rear end apart? Leave your prediction down below. And also, while you're doing that, hit that subscribe button and check out this sweet merch that's in the link below. Let's see how this goes. Come on, you can do it. Well, I think this needs to be the other way because it's hitting the edge of what the bearing is in there. Well, I can see the chunk that's in there. I mean, where else would it be, obviously, but I mean, it's still where it needs to be. so it's not blown apart. I just have to get that chunk out of there. What I might end up doing is pulling the X on the other side and then just popping it out. Sorry, that didn't work. I thought it would. That was my prediction. I would have put in the comments. But, so now I gotta basically repeat the process on their side. And then I'm gonna shove this through and push it out. It's about the easiest thing to do. So, I'm not gonna film pulling the other side apart. It's pretty much the same damn thing as this side. I'm gonna get right on it. Sorry, other axle's out here. I've got a spud bar slid in through the bearing into the other axle. So now I'm gonna hit this with the sledgehammer and see if I can knock it out.
Say, beat it out.
Mm-hmm.
We put
He said try it a few more times, and if it don't come out, then pull the center section.
try putting a ratchet strap on it. So pull it this way so it's not flexing so much when you hit it.
Well, I'm just gonna hit it a couple more times. If it don't go nowhere, then I'm pulling the.
Hold it, Tony. I'll hold it a couple times. You want it right like that?
Uh-huh.
What?
Ah,
Splintered?
yeah. See?
Yeah.
Did it move at all?
I don't know.
Well, that sucks. Looks like I gotta pull the center section. Yep. I'm cleaning off there. Yeah, I gotta pull the center section out. So, in case you don't know, that's that part up there. Oh, it's heavy. I'm gonna have to get in there somehow. Fun, fun. I'm gonna go lunch first and then deal with that afterwards. So here we are. Say hi, TJ.
Got enough room down here. I don't know if we'll see what we're doing. All we got left is 2 bolts. Because we forgot to start filming.
Yeah, we forgot to start building. But we can't get the piece of the axle out. We beat on it and beat on it and beat on it. So yeah, we're pulling this.
Now open her up.
Lucky enough with this whole, with the trailer being like the way it is, he doesn't have to lay on his back. The only problem is I don't fit in there. It's good to have skinny friends that are mechanically inclined too. Let's see if I can get you set up to where you can see this thing coming out.
Alright, there's fucking.
Leave the top two, yeah, partly out, and then pick up on it so it starts draining.
I want to get out of here though.
Well, just pick it up so it starts draining.
No, I want to get back.
No, so you don't get splashed.
Mm-hmm.
Might have to get a hammer. Hang on.
Let's crack this loose, and then I think I'm gonna put this plywood this way that we have something. Can't really. Get a swing.
Hang on.
She's leaking, it's just not going.
There you go. Here, hammer that chisel up in there. Break the seal. chisel. It's more like a paint scraper. Rear end fluid is the greatest smell known to man. I'd start here. Give me that. I'll go from the top.
You're draining, but not draining. Smells great.
Just hit that up in there. Get it spread a little bit.
Oh, come on.
Well, she's loose.
Yummy.
At least there was fluid in it. I'm kind of amazed. It's a good thing the middle of this trailer's not here, otherwise it'd be covered.
Yeah, she's not bad.
Well, yeah, it's because I have to put rear end fluid in it all the time because of leaks.
She's almost out. Hold on. I'm getting these washers off.
Hang on.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. All I'm gonna be able to do is you're almost off. A little bit more. You're out. Just put the front end down straight on the board. There you go, you got it right down there. Ah! Woo! Muscles! So here we are. It's out.
You don't want to get me coming out?
Which way are you going out?
The front.
Look at him. Oh, are you just did you just roll up there? So this is jammed. That's what's going on here. There's like a piece broke off. It's just jammed sideways. So that's the broken piece. Everything in here looks pretty good. I honestly thought this was gonna be junk. How much noise it makes. Now, I don't know, is this a full lock? I don't think this is a full locker. I think this is a limited slip. Because when you jack it up, you can turn one tire. Everything looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna mess with it here for a second. Might be able to break this piece off and just get it to come loose. Hold on, let's give her a shot here. I think if we just break this piece off. We don't want it to go that way. Hang on a second. Now we got that piece out. Let's try this.
There, that's out. Broke her piece.
There it is. The rest of my axle.
Doesn't look bad down in there.
No, the spines look all right. I think the aftermarket ones are splined all the way to the end, instead of just holding on to this little bit. Should have did that outside the car. I should have hit it the other way. Pushed it through. Well, that's it for now. I'm gonna get this cleaned up tomorrow. We'll put it back in. For me, it's gonna be like 12 hours. For you, probably like 30 seconds. Or like 5, 4, 3, 2. This is where TJ files for workman's comp after blowing his stuff out. Just don't lose the boys. You can even help somehow. I'd lean it back on your arms.
That's what I'm trying to do. Oh God.
You got it. You can let the deer go across the rear end. You know what I mean? I wish there was a way I could help.
I wasn't back far enough.
Alright.
I mean, you might go up top, grab top. I mean, I don't know. That'll...
No, you're way too far away. You get it up to me, I can help. There you go, now slide it. There you go, like that.
Ah!
Yep, come on. You're almost there. There it is. You just gotta be hard at it. Get some nuts on it. So here I am back from the junkyard. I didn't film there because I wanted to be quick about it and just get this axle. It's same length, same thickness. Turns out these are 31 spines and not 28 spines. I was wrong. I don't know if I said that earlier, but yeah, it's a truck 9-inch with 31 spline axles. Got to do a little cleaning there. Now my issue is that bolt pattern doesn't match that bolt pattern. So what I got to do is I got to drill these out. So then I'm going to weld some washers on them or use some really big washers. All it does is keep the axle in, so it doesn't like have a ton of pressure on it, but it has some pressure on it. So we definitely want it to be strong. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep this backing plate on or if I need to just cut it off because it'd be simpler to without it. I don't know. I'd really like to put rear brakes on it. Could be a good start. So I'm going to drill some holes out. I did some measuring. I think I just need to be on the inside of this one, inside of that one, and vice versa. Because these are the right width apart. They're just too far this way apart. So they must have changed it some years of Ford. Everything else is the same. I did have to pull this race out because the bearings that were in it are like this style. They use that race, and the bearings in this axle are like a sealed bearing, so they don't need a race. Lucky enough that I just pulled out by hand, and everything, it's the same size as that, so it should just fit right in. So I'm gonna get right on drilling some holes. All right, it's a bit of a mess, but you can see I got these homed out. I'm a little worried about this one because it kind of went that way on me, a little more than I wanted. But let's slide it in and see what happens. Hopefully this works. I don't have to make them any bigger because the more metal that's there, the better off it's going to be. All right, it's very close. I just everything's got to go in a little bit, so I'm gonna do that and I'll be back. So in figure 8 racing, there's a lot of side ports on these axles, and these are press fit right there. If you don't throw a weld on them, they will slide off and the axle will just go bloop right out of the car. See that happen a bunch of times. You just gotta throw like 3 or 4 tacks on this. You don't want to weld this all the way around because you might have to get this off one day, and you don't want to put a bunch of heat into a hardened axle. So 3 or 4 good tack welds will do the job just fine. That's all it takes. That'll ensure that this doesn't slide out. It doesn't take much because this is already pressed on. A couple tacks, keep it in place. Now I can put it in the rear end. Well, my GoPro died. That's in, and this actually just went right in place. I'm gonna get some washers to put back here, and I'm missing one of my nuts. I mean, I'm not. The car is. Yeah. So I'm gonna get 3 on, get it nice and tight with that silicone in there drying. And then tomorrow I'm gonna go take that stud over there to the hardware and grab a fine thread nut. Get that done. So pretty much back together. That side's in, the other side should slide right back in. Now it's time to add some fluid. I go with this method. I got this clamped on here. I just stick that part in the rear end, and then I pull this off and put it on the next one, and probably just going to keep this around. It's all nice and clamped and ready to go. So after that, it's unload it off the trailer and drive around a little bit and make sure it's all right. It's all right, it's running, it's on the ground. It's always great when you get a project off jack stands and it's ready to go. So I'm gonna drive it around just easy for a little bit, just to make sure everything's good to go. Get on it a few times, put it back on the trailer. I'm not going to beat on it too much. We're going racing tomorrow. Yeah, you're going to be in Farwell, Michigan. I'll be there. Come watch. So here we're ending it just how we started it. Car on the trailer. This time though, it's ready to go racing. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. It still needs a power steering box. It still needs a stop for the shifter, but it's just kind of what I had time for. I still got to work on the van. I'm gonna do that tomorrow morning before we go. I just wanted to get this video out so you know to come watch me tomorrow in Farwell, Michigan, and I'll see you next time.